Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Thursday Night Nexus Gaming Series Season 8. I hope I remember how to cast. It's been a hot minute. We have a couple of veteran squads from Division B East. ReGen Phoenix currently sitting in first place, having a spectacular season. And Jailbait, who seems like they've been in Division B East for a million years. Not quite as high in the standings as they're used to, trying to jump back into the playoff picture. And this is where we are now. Currently, they are sitting tied for that 8th place. But they do have a game in hand with Boogan Squad, so they do control their own destiny. You can see the 8, 9, 10, 11 seeds all within a point of each other, so every point matters for Jailbait here in particular. ReGen Phoenix trying to secure the number 1 seed, which would currently sitting in second, but 1 game behind. So a match win here would put them back up into the first place. Both teams definitely want this game. So game 1 will be going to Dragonshire. That was ReGen Phoenix's choice of map. They banned out Tomb and Braxis Hollow for anybody keeping score at home. Jailbait in turn banned out Sky Temple and Cursed Hollow. Part of the reason I haven't casted this season is my computer does this thing where after a HOTS match, like 1 out of 10 games, it'll just reset itself, which is really annoying. So if I just drop after a game, I'll be coming right back. That's just what it does. My computer just resets. It's really annoying. But that's about it. So we have both teams here ready to go. ReGen Phoenix, some players from ReGen Red, as well as some of the PFM players, and now Rabid Penguin, formerly of Divine 9. So a bunch of NGS veterans last season, Phoenix's first season, a little bit up and down, but they lost a lot of close games and finished strong this season. No down, mostly up. They've been top of the season, or top of the standings, I should say, pretty much all season long. So they definitely have their eyes set on maybe a Division B championship, possibly Division A next season, where a couple of these players have already been in the past. All right, so looks like we've got R's from everybody. Somebody I imagine here is going to press the start button. And we will get this show on the road in Sky Temple right about now. Did I say Braxis Hollow? That's maybe because I'm so opposed to Braxis, I just pretend like it doesn't exist. Braxis Holdout, clearly. I'll keep that in mind, Shui. We'll see how that rolls. She's going to get a scholarship anyway, right? So what does she need a college fund for? First ban Alarak coming out by Jailbait. Now, typically in this meta, second ban almost is obligated to ban out Deathwing and Ariel. However, there was a balance patch. Both of those guys got a little bit of a nerf bat taken to them. So does that mean they're nerf batted enough to not ban? And ReGen Phoenix says yes. Yes, they are. So ETC banned out from Jailbait. And I imagine that may have taken Jailbait a little bit off guard. So now they're deciding if they want to ban the Ariel or the Deathwing or live both up, and they do. So they're going to ban out the Deathwing. So is ReGen Phoenix going to respond with the Ariel ban, or are they going to let it through? Resurrection did have a range nerf from 7 to 5, I believe, and a cast time increase. So the Ariel player has to make themselves a little bit more vulnerable, and it takes just a little bit longer to cast, so a little more time to interrupt. Let's see And they're going with a Muradin ban, so choking out the tanks. I haven't seen a first ban Muradin in a hot minute. I don't know the reason for that, but I do know that ReGen Phoenix does their homework. I'm 100% sure there is a reason behind that ban because you're not seeing a whole lot of first ban Muradins lately. That is no surprise. Ariel taken by Jailbait. 2 picks now for ReGen Phoenix. So really letting this clock tick down. I imagine we'll see tank or support and something else. There's the support, and there's the Sylve. So Alex Straza and Sylvanas picked up for ReGen Phoenix. That does still leave Joe on the table. Generally considered one of the stronger tanks right now. She's good on D-Shire for the 4-man rotating between mid and bot as well, so that would not be a bad selection at all for Jailbait, but instead opt for a Zul'jin and a Mal'Ganis. Mal'Ganis is a tank I'm seeing a little bit more of. It's popping up here and there. Played well, Mal'Ganis can be really aggravating. He's difficult to kill. The sleep is annoying. The high prioritization, though, on the Zul'jin is a bit surprising. I wonder if that's something they play a lot of, that they were worried would be banned out by ReGen Phoenix, who does ban out the offlane Leoric. Because with Zul'jin not generally high prioritized, I would hazard a guess that that might have fallen lower, but let's see if that's something they play. So maybe they were worried about that being banned out. Jailbait this season. Whoops. The awesome stats of the Storm. Has played Zul'jin 5 times, so their second highest most played assassin. That would explain why they picked it so high. They were concerned about it getting banned. And then a Cho'Gall ban. Possibly responding to the Leoric ban, which was targeted. Jailbait's played the Leo 6 times this season, so that ban makes sense. They don't have an offlaner. I haven't seen a Cho'Gall from ReGen Phoenix this season, so I wonder if that's something they were trying to sneak in there or they were just concerned about it. But coming back with an Arya and a Diablo. Now, Mudge is currently showing on the Diablo. If I'm not mistaken, typically Arrow tanks, and Mudge is in the off lane. So I'm curious if they swap or if they're trying something new. Yeah, Arrow has played main tank in every single one of ReGen Phoenix's games this season. So let's keep an eye on what this pick is. If Phoenix is going to swap heroes possibly after, or we're going to see something different. As the Malthael is a nice solid counter to the Diablo, coming out last pick for Jailbait. So Jailbait has their auto attack damage with Zul'jin. They have their spell damage with Kael'thas. And Arrow coming in hot with the Murky. It would have taken me a lot of guesses before I got to a Murky, but I appreciate the NGS community. Yeah, I know Cho'Gall is really strong right now, but Phoenix hasn't shown it this season. So that's why the ban surprised me. Not for Cho'Gall specifically, just it's something that they haven't shown. That's why the ban surprised me. But I appreciate the NGS community welcoming me back to casting with a Murky game. I haven't casted a Murky game in a very long time. And Monk is saying Cho'Gall is strong. Yeah, so a couple of teams in Division S are playing him right now and winning with him. So there you go. So ReGen Phoenix on the left, coming with a fairly standard comp until the Murky. And Jailbait on the right, coming in with just a standard comp. So we are in game once I can find my button. There it is. All right. The blue team. Oh, rip. That's how long it's been since I've casted. My overlays are just terrible. So I will have to fix that.
10 seconds.
Oh no, ah, everything is terrible. Well, I apologize, guys. You're going to have to deal with it for one game. Mudge on Diablo, Darabao on Cassia, Arrow on Murky, Aria on Alex Straza, Rabbit Penguin on the Sylvanas, ReGen Phoenix sending 4 top and Arrow bottom. For Jailbait, Kobo is on the Malthael, currently by himself to defend against the 4-man. His teammates will be joining him shortly, but this tower is getting burned fast. Almost down. There it goes. H2O on Ariel. Fragstellar on Zul'jin. Mech on Kael'thas coming in on the flank. Diablo goes down. The gravity lapse unfortunately misses, but ReGen Phoenix is low, and that is a double kill to start. ReGen Phoenix overstaying just a little bit and paying for it. Probably not worth the prices. I don't even think they got the... Okay, they did. So 1 tower for 2 kills. Probably not worth it. Kobo's going to get some free soak here in the top. And now Diablo coming to lane? No, just coming long enough for Murky to take his spot. And then Diablo will join the 4-man. ReGen Phoenix playing a little bit of catch-up here. Diablo will pick up some souls and some soak. Sylv working on the Merc camp. Jailbait here trying to maintain their early control of the map and about a quarter level lead in XP, courtesy of some soak and some kills. I will show the talents. I am not going to show them for long because it dominates so much of the screen in this observer, which I hate. And this is why the first cast wasn't in the playoffs, because I would have hated to do this in a team in the playoffs. But there you go. Mudge taking a lot of damage. Maybe some comfort issues with Arrow on the roll swap, who's now playing the Murky. He gets slept by Cawthon on the Mal'Ganis. And ReGen Phoenix, or I should say Jailbait, in the driver's seat here a little bit. Only 2 minutes into the game. There's the stun onto the Diablo. Living Bomb onto him as well. Mudge breaking away from his team so as not to pass that Living Bomb. And now we have 4 men pushing bottom for Jailbait while that Malthael does the double soak thing that he does. Diablo split off, forced to go to sleep, then whipped into the wall, stunned, taking a lot of damage, slept again. In the meanwhile, Rabbit Penguin goes down. Fragstellar showing why they prioritize that Zul'jin, sending Sylvanas back to the Hall of Storms. In the meantime, Kobo on Malthael picks up the Murky kill, and I really like... oh, I missed it. 1 more goes down. Jailbait really controlling over a full level up, only 2 minutes and 40 seconds in the game. And I love how Jailbait is handling this. They're not even trying for the DK. They're just using the DK as a threat. While Malthael double soaks, they completely are controlling the map, and they are absolutely shoving this bottom part of the map, and now they're finally withdrawing. Cassia, if she doesn't back up, will be overextended, but she sniffs the rotation coming, mounts up, gets away, able to dodge the damage. And now it looks like Jailbait will get on the channel. The flames from Diablo will not be in time. Arrow on the Murky was just a little late on the channel. I know, guys, I'm sorry. I failed with the Oliobs, and it is in, I do have it, it's just not set, I don't think, as the right observer, so we'll see. Maybe I can switch it between games, hopefully. Now all 5 members of Jailbait here, they're pushing in with the DK, punting Sylvanas away. Only Murky remains top. Dragon Queen used by Aria, and the Dragon Knight burned out pretty quickly. I'm actually surprised they didn't get a little bit more damage than that, but they did get the ever-important tap. The sippy cup on the bottom was destroyed. That's going to be a nice little advantage there for the side of Jailbait. And Murky using all 4 bribe stabs, and Arrow just slipped in and stole Jailbait's lunch money. Nice small silver lining there for ReGen Phoenix. To hide the top bar. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, let me see if I can do that. I'll be honest, I'm pretty rusty and I don't want to press any buttons for fear of making it worse, but we'll see if we can do that, because that's not a bad suggestion. Let's see here. One. Aha! Good suggestion, Murda. That brings up the opens the screen up just a little bit. And you guys can all see on the Twitch title that it is, in fact, Division B East. And here we go again. Both teams brawling in the Bermuda Triangle, but 10's almost here for Jailbait. ReGen Phoenix going back. Dibbles stunned again. Malthiel all over it. Probably trying to hoping level 10 and Last Rites will come up, but doesn't need it. Diablo falls, and now 6 unanswered kills for the side of Jailbait. Rabin Penguin is in trouble. Whipped into the wall. Cawthon coming in for nap time. Nice haunting wave there, but Mech was able to get the Pyroblast off, but not before the heal procs. Rabin Penguin escapes, battered and bruised, but not dead. Jailbait looking to push in one more time on the bottom, or... yeah, pushing in on the bottom, taking the neutral Merc camp. You're asking the wrong questions. It's not why is Arrow on a Murky, it's why not. Why not Arrow on Murky? So let's talk about the level 10s we haven't had a chance to. Octograb, Lightning Breath, Cleansing Flame? Yes, Cleansing Flame. And is that Valkyrie? It is. For ReGen Phoenix, as well as Wailing Arrow. There goes Cawthon trying to set up nap time, but nobody misses. However, Darabo hits the big-time Valkyrie, isolating out Mech, and he's getting low, but they aren't quite able to finish him off. But Cleansing Flame goes up, and that'll be 2 falling for Jailbait, with more on the loose. Are they going to resurrect Mal'Ganis? No, I would hazard a guess not. Now Mech is in trouble, surely going to fall, and he does. 3 unanswered kills. However, Zul'jin doing some work, trying to take somebody with him. Pops the Tazdingo, and with the Octograb, saving Cassia. Arrow popping in with the Octograb to counteract the Tazdingo. And ReGen Phoenix roaring back. Jailbait coming in with Last Rites? Yes, Last Rites. Is that Carrion Swarm? I always forget the name. Pyroblast, Tazdingo, and Resurrection. Points controlled again by Jailbait. Mid lane brawl breaking out. Arrow being as annoying as possible. That is Murky's role, of course. Cawthon putting Dibbles to sleep. The Valkyrie, though, lands on Ariel, who is trying to follow up on nap time with the whip, but pays for it. Valkyrie taking down Malthiel. I should say it was Malthiel, not Ariel. You guys know what I meant. But there is a double sleep again. Resurrection does go on to Malthiel. That will force ReGen back as Mudge is getting absolutely shreked. Stun on to Darabo, but she stays alive. The flip under towers will take out Malthiel. Diablo stays alive. Pyroblast takes out Sylvanas. Bodies dropping all over the place. 13s are here for Jailbait. This game is very brawly. However, I will say Jailbait was down 6-0 in kills, and now it's 6-6. They are invading the Bruiser camp, Living Bomb, trying not to pass it around, and they are not successful, as Dibbles gets pretty low, but they do secure the Giant camp. Murky, once again, off camera here, used a bribe onto the mercenaries in the top lane, swiping those away from Jailbait. Valkyrie does hit onto Ariel. It actually missed initially, and poor H2O actually walked into the Valkyrie. They're able to set it up. That's 3 Valkyries now that Darabo has used to secure kills. Malthiel pushing in the top lane. Jailbait down in numbers. Octograb does go on to Cawthon, whose Carrion Swarm is interrupted by Mudge. Nice shadow charge there Ariel actually resurrects herself, but that may have been mistakes are made, and that is a triple kill. Only 2 showing, but Ariel was actually killed twice. And then Mal'Ganis. So ReGen Phoenix roaring back, but they will trade that team fight win for probably top fort. Unless, I think it's just too late. This top fort's going to go down. Sylve in the meantime pushing bottom. Phoenix not trying for the objective at all. Just going to go ahead and use that Sylve to get some structure damage in. Now stepping past the front wall, Murky trying to go do what Malthael was doing, get some double soak. Sylve shuts off the fort. But big flank coming in here. ReGen Phoenix may be overextended. Alexstrasza uses Cleansing Flame to get away. Mudge trying to get out. The slow from the axes comes out, but they actually get Alexstrasza with a counter kill. A little bit of surprise there. Mudge just kind of holding Diablo, holding his ground with the Lightning Breath, getting the counter kill. Nice job by Mech of using the Flame Strike on the healing circle by Alexstrasza. But meanwhile, Murky went ahead and secured the Dragon Knight. So this game, where the first 5 to 6 minutes of it was all Jailbait, since then, ReGen Phoenix has been clawing their way back, and now they are actually up almost a full level. And they're about to even up the structure. Actually, no, they'll take the structure lead because Jailbait never confirmed that top fort that I was so sure was going to go down. Diablo picking up some souls on the way mid lane. They actually get, oh my god, I missed it because I'm terrible, but they were able to pick off Kael'thas mid. Now using that Sylvanas to push down this mid fort. This will be a 5v4 if Jailbait opts to contest this. But instead, going to take the wall and take the siege camp and continue to prioritize bottom. Zul'jin caught out by the Octograb. Mudge timing the wall slam perfectly, and they're able to confirm the kill. Kael'thas was resurrected, but with Malthael down. Number advantage again for ReGen Phoenix. Now caught Malthael. There's the charge. There's the flip. There's the charge again. There's the lightning breath. Down goes Mal'Ganis. Penguin and Darable passing the living bomb, but they're saying it's worth it to secure another kill. Now 8. Actually, it was 6-0, so 14 unanswered kills by ReGen Phoenix. There's the Valkyrie again. Does catch Ariel, but the wall kept her safely inside her own fortifications. ReGen Phoenix now has their eyes on the first keep of the game. No. Yes. Yes? Yes. They're just going to wait for the mercenaries and then continue to push. Mudge bullying the Zul'jin, and now damage going into the keep, and it's dropping fast. Meanwhile, Murky bribing the camps one more time, while his teammate is securing the first fort of the game and backing up in a timely manner. Nice job by ReGen Phoenix not to overstay and possibly get caught on a counter engage there. So will they catch Murky? He didn't have full bribe stacks this time. Looks like he probably had 2 or 3 that he bribed before he finished it off. And I don't think Jailbait has had the opportunity to secure their own bruiser even once today. However, on the other side of the map, they take something back, bully Phoenix off of the siege camp, and take it for themselves. So a pretty entertaining game. Very brawly.
Blue team has destroyed a fort.
And now they are rotating onto the Malthael, who was Octograb. There's the Q, there's the E, and down goes Malthael. Arrow timing his Octograbs really well, and kind of getting an isolated split kill on Malthael. They octa-grabbed him when only Murky was visible, and the entire team made it up there just in time. Now targeting this mid-fort, trying to finish it off, using Sylvanas to shut down defenses. Jailbait responds. Phoenix just backs up. Mudge politely moves Malthael out of the way. There's the Valkyrie hitting one more time. However, the net coming out from the Zul'jin possibly saving Kael'thas, but Jailbait fighting a hard 4v4. Now Murky has arrived, so it will be 5v4. He is waiting in the wings, and Octograb is up. So Murky's going to try to grab somebody. There it is. There's Zul'jin. There's the charge. Down goes Zul'jin. And I guess I questioned, oh, this is going to be maybe 2 kills? Yes, 1 kill. Rabbit Penguin very low with the Pyro, but does not finish it. Despite that, the Dragon Knight secured by Murky, but they're not really going to be able to do anything with this with Alexstrasza and Cassia dead. What I was going to start to speculate, I was wondering why ReGen Phoenix didn't ban the Ariel. I'm inclined to think that maybe the Murky was kind of a soft counter to that with no cleanse and the Octograb, because they've gotten a lot of mileage out of Octograb.
Red team has destroyed a fort.
So nice job by Jailbait. They were actually able to get something out of those kills despite the DK being on the side of ReGen Phoenix. They got not 1, but 2 forts, both mid and bot lane. Malthael was forced to go back and clear out some katas. I imagine Jailbait will beat a hasty retreat here as Alexstrasza and Cassia are coming very shortly, and they do not have 20s yet. There's Arrow anchoring with his murkiness, using an Octograb just to buy some time, and it was just enough time for the camp to be secured and his teammates to escape to safety. Meanwhile, Malthael securing their own bruisers, or should say siege giants, and now contemplating an invasion, but I think with Malthael going top, Jailbait not having 20, they're going to decide that probably not a great idea. And now Arrow looking for something. They see Malthael top, the initiation onto Fragstellar on Zul'jin. He is able to walk away. Mech on Kael'thas cannot get away from Lightning Breath. They do use the Octograb on Zul'jin, but not able to secure the kill. Murky falls. That's not really relevant. However, Jailbait, they are looking froggy. There goes the Wailing Arrow, currently only onto Mal'Ganis. Valkyrie misses. Malthael has arrived, and that might be go time for Jailbait. Are they going to turn around? No. So both sides content to settle for how that went down. 20s are here for both sides. And there are the talents for those of you keeping score at home. Murky is taking the bottom camp. They really want to prioritize the pressure. And now ReGen Phoenix just going to go ahead and say, nah, this is ours. We're going to go ahead and take this. And for the first time in the game, 18 minutes and 22 seconds in, I'm pretty sure that's the first time Jailbait will get their own camp in the top, and they will. Might be the second time, but I think the first. They do catch the Mal'Ganis. There's the Q, there's the E, there's the Q. Using nap time to disengage, catches 2, but not get away. Octograb is there waiting for him. Down goes Mal'Ganis there. You can see them. They're just hugging this resurrection. Cawthon hoping his teammates will get here to save him, because ReGen Phoenix was just waiting for that. Diablo was caught in the net. Last rites and Pyroblast. Is it going to be enough? Diablo is a beefy boy, and it is not. That was a net from Zul'jin, a last rites, and a Pyroblast, and Mudge is now back at about 75% health. Malthael not here. There goes the Carrion Swarm. Damage onto Diablo one more time. Now onto the Cassia. In the background, Arrow is channeling the DK, and this could be the beginning of the end. Though Sylvanas and Cassia both fall, I stand corrected. Cawthon on the Mal'Ganis simply punted out of the way. That was a high price to pay for the Dragon Knight if you're ReGen Phoenix. It is a 19-minute Dragon Knight, so it will be really strong. but I don't know if it's going to be worth it. Tazdingo popped to make sure they don't have any unnecessary deaths. Arrow is on Murky, so he might just kind of YOLO into core, get whatever damage he can, and if he dies, you know, he's Murky. They don't really care. But look at how fast this thing is melting. I don't think it's going to get anything done, frankly. And that's all Arrow's doing, just buying some time, being annoying. So 2 kills are the price for the 20-minute Dragon Knight, and ReGen Phoenix unable to do anything with it. And this game is pretty tight. ReGen Phoenix is up a little bit. They really controlled the middle part of the game, but Jailbait roaring back. And although they don't have any keeps down with the death timers as long as they are this far into the game, a very real chance, well, if ReGen Phoenix has a decisive teamfight win, they will end, and a very good chance if Jailbait has a decisive teamfight win, they could do the same, although a little bit harder as they do have to go through a keep to do that. But Jailbait's kind of in an awkward spot here. Cawthon split from his teammates by terrain. ReGen Phoenix doesn't know that. He's looking for the big sleep. He does get it onto Mudge. Maybe not the ideal target. And he just simply backs up. There goes the Valkyrie again, landing onto Ariel. Murky goes down, as does Ariel, resurrecting herself, showing the power of the Ariel. And there is Last Rites taking down Diablo. Cassia going down, Malthael going down, Mal'Ganis going down, Sylvanas going down. Nobody wins. Nobody wins this team fight. Although Diablo with souls, it might help. Malthael is back. A lot of respawn stuff going on here for Jailbait. Between Malthael's shortened death timer, the talent that is escaping currently, and Resurrect. H2O on Ariel went down really early in that fight, but it almost didn't matter, just resurrected. And here's another resurrection, and there's the speed. That is such a funny talent to watch. And at this point in the game, Phoenix cannot trade deaths with Malthael and the Resurrect. Look how much faster Jailbait's on the board. They're going to have a good 15 seconds to use an advantage, but Arrow may have caught Mech. Well, he did catch Mech, but luckily Fragstellar's there to bail him out of trouble, forcing a full hearth, though, but Jailbait may have danced themselves into a DK, and they did. Great map manipulation by Jailbait. They're able to pick up the Dragon Knight with all members of their team up. And are they going to just run it down mid, where they already have a Kata and a wave and the wall down? That looks like... No, just going to take the wall and then head back bottom. They were kind of waiting for Kael'thas, who has arrived. Killing the or the minions, I should say, bringing the Kata up, bringing the catapults up as well. Murky gets exploded, but that doesn't really matter because he will be back in 3 seconds. A huge flame strike and a living bomb and a pyro on Rabbit. I think he's high enough to where he'll survive that. No! I would love to see the overkill on that, because I think that barely got him. There's the Octograb onto the Malthael. He is able to survive, punting Alexstrasza away. Darabo now in trouble. Murky going down again. Tazdingo popped. Keeps Zul'jin alive for now. Uses the root onto Alexstrasza. Followed up great by Kael'thas. Shields are down. Can Jailbait end it here? It is a 5v3. Shields are already down, and at level 24, this thing is going to melt fast, and it is 40%. Dropping further. Mudge going in deep to try to drive them off. Core at 38%. Darabo forced back into his own Hall of Storms. Last Rites takes down Diablo. And ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it. Game 1. Going over to Jailbait. That was a fun game. That was a really fun game. Final kill count 21-19. slightly in favor of ReGen Phoenix. That game started 8-0 in favor, or 6-0 in favor of Jailbait, and then it was 14-6 in favor of ReGen Phoenix, and it ends up 21-19. So very back and forth. That Ariel res, especially at the end, man, was so impactful. I don't know if you can let the Ariel through. Don't know if you can let the Ariel through. Really fun game, well played by both teams. We're going to watch the patron bumper, and then we'll see where these teams take us for game number 2. Be right back. All right, we're back. Game number 2, which will be a Battlefield of Eternity. It looks like ReGen Phoenix opted for first pick. So Battlefield of Eternity map pick for Jailbait. A little bit of Mongoose trivia. Actually, one weekend, Jailbait was looking for a sub for their Heroes Lounge playoffs because they did it on like a Saturday and they didn't have the regular guys. So I actually got into sub in with Jailbait for 2 matches on a random Saturday Heroes Lounge playoffs. We won a set. It was fun. Good guys over there. So I also thought about it while we were in break there briefly. With where these two teams are in the standings, ReGen Phoenix fighting for the 1-2 spot, Jailbait trying to get into the playoffs 7th or 8th more likely. This could also be a first round playoff matchup as well, very easily. So could be seeing a playoff preview here. These teams getting really familiar with each other the last couple weeks of the season, if that were to happen. All right, well, I've given the R, waiting for the captains to do the same. And then we will go to Battlefield of Eternity for game number 2. Going to Battlefield of Eternity for game number 2. I was trying to time it, but arrow's not hitting the button. So I just said that, nothing happened. So let's talk about Battlefield of Eternity, a little bit of a different animal than some of the other maps. The lane presence is not quite as important. It's pretty brawly over the objective, or can be. And heroes that can burn that immortal down prioritized more here than on other maps. Obviously, Greymane, Vala, Artanis gets a little more burn here than on other maps. Hanzo used to be like first pick, first ban on BOE before they nerfed that particular build. Or maybe it was even just one talent. Now still good, but not quite like before. Also, thanks for the follows, Lulu and Sunny Whitney. I did see them. Appreciate it always. So for my once a season cast, you guys will know when it happens. What's up, Rocky? Thanks, man. Yeah, I've haven't casted a lot this season. Had a lot going on, but trying to get a little more in at the end of the season. Maybe jump in for some co-casting during playoffs if I can. Of course, Rocky there from Roll One Esports in B West. Now Arrow says they're ready to go. He's hitting the button. And into game number 2. I'd love to scrim you guys, but that is no longer my department. You'll have to talk to Shadonis about that. I just show up and play when I'm told to do so. And let me tell you, it's spectacular. So first pick, first ban for ReGen Phoenix. Last game, they choked out the tanks. They banned ETC Muradin. Jailbait responded with Mal'Ganis. This time they're going to first ban Mal'Ganis, so staying on the tank bandwagon. Let's see how Jailbait responds. Staying with the Alarak. Alarak, I think, is stronger on BOE than on Dragonshire, where we played game 1. The ability to pull your opponents into the immortal stuns is really strong. It's one of the reasons I really like ETC too. The ability to reposition the opponents onto the stuns. Garrosh can do some of the same. Deathwing banned out this time by ReGen Phoenix. Apparently they're not going to first pick it, so want to make sure that Jailbait doesn't. And now Ariel. Are you going to let the Ariel through? That was such a factor game 1. No. Jailbait says we're not going to do that. And the perma bans that is Deathwing and Ariel continues in Heroes of the Storm, despite the changes they received yesterday, question mark? Was that yesterday? Maybe Tuesday? First pick for ReGen Phoenix. Who's it going to be? Wow.
I stand ready.
This is arguably Fala's best map. Q build on BOE really does a number on the Immortal. She can basically single-handedly burn that thing once the talent builds come online. 2 picks now for Jailbait. Uther, Li Ming. Now that first pick, Uther, Li Ming does get burned on Battlefield of Eternity. She's the best poke burn, probably. She can really safely burn that thing from a distance. But it's the early pick Uther that's interesting to me. That leads me to believe that Jailbait is targeting a double support comp. An early pick solo support Uther is so easily counterable with like a Lunara or a Gul'dan. So the fact that they snap picked it so early, to me, says double support. So like an Ana or a Rhaegar possibly, or maybe even Tank Uther, which we've seen early in the season was kind of a thing. It seems to have fallen off a little bit, but teams are definitely doing Tank Uther for a while. ReGen Phoenix coming back with Arrow, back on main tank, playing Muradin, and Arya on Anduin. So we're going to have Light Bomb Dwarf Toss, question mark. Artanis banned out by Jailbait. So I wonder if the ladies and gentlemen on ReGen Phoenix are picking up that double support as well. Are we going to see another support ban? Is there someone in particular they don't want to see? Or are they just not going to respond that way and stick on their same game plan. Staying with the ETC ban, not wanting to let Cawthon play that ETC. Sylvanas and Blaze leaving that last spot open. Main tank Blaze with double support. Blaze off lane with a regular tank. Now Cawthon is showing the Blaze, and that is normally their main tank player. But of course, tournament draft, nothing to stop you from swapping those players around. Mudge going with Sonya. And Darabao going with the Lunara. So that's the soft counter to the Uther. If they stay with solo support Uther, the Lunara is the answer to that. So let's see. Is it going to be solo support Uther? Because that's pretty dicey, honestly. Uther has nice high heals, but very long cooldowns. Is much better at burst mitigation. And there it is. There's the double support. Yeah, anytime you have the early pick Uther like that, it just kind of screams double support. So Uther in the off lane, I guess. And with Uther point and click stun, possibly Divine Storm as well. I mean, Sonya doesn't quite have the same easy time going onto the back line. That will be kind of Uther's job to keep track of that. So who you guys like in game number 2? ReGen Phoenix on a more traditional comp, or Jailbait to pick up the upset domination? And that would be an upset for sure. 9th place, dropping the kind of 1st or 2nd place team. And Jailbait needs those points to get in the playoffs, so that would be huge for them. All right, game number 2, ReGen Phoenix versus Jailbait. Rabbit Penguin on Vala, Arrow on Muradin, Darabao on Lunara, Arya on Anduin, Mudge on Sonya. That is ReGen Phoenix. For Jailbait, Frag Stellar on Sylvanas, Mech on Li Ming, H2O on Lumberjack Uther, Kobo on Admiral Stukov, Cawthon on the Blaze. So Uther, of course, cannot lane against Sonya, nor will he try. He will soak safely, do his best to mitigate any kind of structure damage. And you could see Arya and Rabbit, they were kind of in no man's land, and that was just in case Jailbait decided to try to cheese with the Sylvanas. They could respond quickly, kind of hovering in that mid area, but that wasn't in the playbook, so both sides reporting to bottom lane here. Cawthon missing the jet propulsion and taking a lot of poke damage. The Vala and the Lunara both do a lot of damage, and also both, on the squishier side. This comp will look very different with Uther in it. All those extra heals will make a world of difference. Nice angle on those orbs from Mech, able to hit the entire wave with the orb. And top, as expected, Uther's not really going to be able to lane. He just does everything he can to not die and soak safely. And on Battlefield of Eternity, that's not that big a deal. Mech is caught out by the Stormbolt over the wall, able to blink away. Jet propulsion just misses on both assassins. Cawthon kicked a field goal there between Rabid and Darabao. However, that orb really chunked out Vala, forced to go behind the wall, tap the sippy cup. And Mech here is just doing work on this Li Ming. A lot of damage, but Fragstellar's in trouble. Cawthon forced a jet propulsion in, and even though he didn't stun anybody, kind of zoned those away, but now he is caught forced to pop armor. And the damage from Li Ming, I thought it would be higher, honestly. So 2 minutes and 20 seconds. I'm a little surprised neither team has peeled off to their strong camps, the bruiser camps. 30 seconds to the Immortal now. Blaze is in trouble. Arrow jumping in to body block him. The Stormbolt has landed, but Cawthon is able to jet propulsion to safety. We'll take a full trick back to the Call of Storms. I imagine that Kobo and Fragsteller will both do the same as well. No? I figured they would top off, but instead they are going to rush over to their camp. ReGen Phoenix doing the same. Phoenix will burn this faster as they have many more heroes here. But both teams scotch late on this. Typically you want to secure this about 10 seconds ago. And there it is by ReGen Phoenix. Cawthon just trying to be a presence. Zone away. Jailbait now securing theirs. And that allows Phoenix to get onto the Immortal, get a little extra damage. 4 on 4 as Muradin and Li Ming are bottom. Li Ming now coming up and now going back down. Both teams sending members to work on the clear while posturing mid. So Sonya is clearing the top camp. H2O putting the stun to stop the whirlwind. Now Jailbait, though, stepping into burn. Cawthon, though, forced to jet propulsion to safety again. And it is Jailbait's Immortal that is going to start halftime here. No, Cawthon, he just can't quite hit those jet propulsions. When he does, though, whew. And anytime you got a Li Ming, if you can secure that first kill in a fight, it's that trait gets so much value. So first Immortal will go over to ReGen Phoenix. Not too much in the way of shielding here, though. They thought about contesting the globes, decided against it. And now Uther will go bottom. The remainder of Jailbait will go top. Sonya meeting Uther one more time. Nice lurking arm there by Kobo. So about a 25 to 30% of a level lead here for ReGen Phoenix. There's a jet propulsion landing onto Arrow. However, the Immortal forcing Cawthon to back up. Sylvanas now hit by the stun from the Muradin. Tanks and Assassins trading damage. Jet propulsion does not hit. Forces Rabbit Penguin back. Cawthon taking a fire bath. Muradin in trouble. Forced to Dwarf Toss away. However, if they get a fort, and they do, that is a very successful first Immortal. Securing an entire fort is ReGen Phoenix. Cawthon's kind of by himself. Checks the bush. Gets stunned. Gets rooted. And down goes Cawthon. Definitely was a little far from his team, and ReGen Phoenix did a nice job of punishing Blaze for that. Uther continues to do what he can against Sonya in the solo lane. Jailbait, of course, having that Sylve, they really want to get these Immortals. That's the amp it up button for the Immortal is the Sylvanas trait. Nice job by H2O of kind of seeing those guys go missing and backed way up to safety because ReGen Phoenix can't really soak safely in the top lane. The minions are pushed pretty far out. Arrow going deep, eats the E from Uther, lands the Q. Minions not quite here yet, so Arrow had to back up or take way too much damage. However, Uther cannot defend this by himself. Fortunately for him, he has friends on the way. Blaze eats a Stormbolt from Muradin, allowing the rest of ReGen Phoenix to withdraw to safety. About 3/4 of a level lead for ReGen Phoenix. Jailbait going to jump on the bottom camp. Cawthon going to heal himself up. And now Jailbait has some tough decisions to make. ReGen Phoenix is just not going to go to the Immortal until they have 10. And at that point, Jailbait won't be able to contest, but a nice jet propulsion, the best one of the game thus far. Hits 2, but are they going to get arrow? They do. That's such a huge momentum swing. Arrow goes down to the dot from Sylvanas. That's going to make it much more difficult for ReGen Phoenix to leverage their heroics. It's going to allow Jailbait to get some free burn and also maybe get 10 to contest heroics at halftime. So halftime secured by Jailbait on the back of the Muradin pick. Heroics for Jailbait, Avatar, Wrath of the Berserker, yes, Reign of Vengeance. I believe that is Light Bomb, and it is, and Leaping Strike. You heard Sonya scream, Wrath of the Berserker was popped, both teams working their way over here. Man, look at that thing melt between Sylva and Sonya. That Immortal melted so quickly, and Phoenix just backed up. They know they have the pressure in the bot lane, so time is on their side. There's the Coffin on the backside. What a lurking arm Divine Storm combo, and that is a triple kill. So well executed there by Jailbait. Uther stun into Divine Storm, into lurking arm, into Li Ming resets. And Jailbait, a team on a mission. They will secure their first Immortal of the game. It will run top? Yes. Top. They will clear out bottom as a team. And with Sylv running top, I imagine they will go meet her up there and attempt to push with this Immortal. Somebody really should clip that. Really clinical triple kill there by Jailbait. Nice job by those guys. The demon moves for the gates of heaven. So all 5 members are here for Phoenix. All 5 members will be here shortly for Jailbait as Li Ming went to get some more mana. The lurking arm just zoning out Phoenix on their own fort. Now Li Ming has arrived. They are through the wall onto the fort. Immortal at about half health, as is the fort. And this fort will fall. And there it goes. I don't think they're going to go too much further with this, as this Immortal is all but dead. And on the back of that triple kill, Jailbait went from slightly behind to slightly ahead. They completely evened out the levels. They completely evened out the structures. And definitely had momentum on their side. A blind Q in for Mudge, but he may have paid for that. I think Mudge wishes that that spear would not have hit. Bottom lane, I wonder if Phoenix is thinking about just ripping this fort, but now with Jailbait off the map and clearly rotating, they cannot do that. They're going to try to secure bottom camp and then get out safely, and they likely will. Arrow stacking his Q in the steam vents. Using their 13s to push in. Down will go this tower. Lunara showing in the top to have to clear out the camp, so Jailbait taking advantage of that, using the Sylv trait, using the zoning potential from Lurking Arm. And now here they go. Light Bomb on a Muradin only catches 1. The Flailing Swipe will push everybody away. Nice job from Jailbait there to actually get Light Bomb out. That will be on cooldown. Avatar is still on 75 seconds, so definitely the heroic advantage is for Jailbait. Phoenix, knowing that Jailbait is probably on their camp, opts to rip the fort. Nice macro by those guys. And they took the structure lead back just a little bit. However, Jailbait will have mercenaries pushing in the top lane, both teams at level 13. Here we go. So almost everybody online. In about 5 to 10 seconds here, everybody will have their heroics except for Avatar Muradin. And there, that was huge because Muradin is the first to go, proccing the Li Ming resets. Sonya soon to follow. Phoenix in full retreat. And not having Avatar could have been the difference there. And with 10 seconds until all members of ReGen Phoenix are up, this will go to Jailbait. ReGen Phoenix is taking this camp as a consolation prize, at least to help defend bot lane, as this Immortal will go to the bottom lane. Talons here will pop him up for just a minute. Whoa, did not mean to do that. Now catching him without Uther here. Jailbait did not expect that aggressive rotation. Flailing Swipe gets them away almost, but Sylvanas goes down. Lunara counter-killed a 1v1. There is Light Bomb catching 2 on a spinning Sonya. But now Uther has arrived. A triple jet propulsion. Muradin is silenced. This is very brawly. A combustion goes for like a half a second. Uther is so low, but now they will have ghost heals. A 2-for-1 on an aggressive rotation that definitely caught Jailbait off guard. In the meanwhile, though, this Immortal was just kind of doing its thing. It took down bottom fort, which was going to happen anyway. There was nothing that was going to stop that. A nice aggressive rotation, kind of an ambush there by ReGen Phoenix. And just like game 1, really brawly, very back and forth by both squads. Sylvanas is showing top, despite losing a team fight a little bit. Results on the Immortal are keep front wall and a fort. So pretty good returns from Jailbait. The Wisp will scout that out. It will be immediately destroyed. Cawthon out pretty far. And look at this. Phoenix is trying to do it again. They're trying to catch them rotating. They have caught Stukov. Stormbolt hit. Roots hits. There's the Light Bomb. It does catch him again, as does Rain of Vengeance. So going with an ambush strategy here is Phoenix, and it nets them 2 more kills. They are looking for more. Arrow dwarf tossing in, using Avatar. Down goes Uther. A triple kill. So ReGen Phoenix finding something that's working for them, and that is ambush, ambush, ambush. The second time they've kind of caught Jailbait where they weren't expected to be, and now with full 5 members and a Avala and a Lunara capable of doing a ton of siege damage, they're going to rip this bottom keep, and I don't see any scenario that this doesn't go down. And there it goes. They do catch Sonya, though. Pulled out of trouble by Arya on the Anduin. And back and forth this game goes. Are they trying to return the favor here? Jailbait is kind of looks like they're going aggressive, but they're a little bit scattered, and they are. They're going to get right on this burn. And that looks like it was a good call. Halftime is almost here already. However, ReGen Phoenix has arrived. Jailbait has to back up, and they do. Cawthon is kind of caught out, though. Forced to pop his armor. Rooted under the Immortal and jet propulsion defensively. There's the Light Bomb Dwarf Toss I thought about. There is the combustion. Kobo is so low, and down he goes. Darabo getting so much value. And it's actually Arrow that secured both kills. And that is now 3. ReGen Phoenix on the warpath. Really, with this kind of aggression that they've ramped up, it forces Uther to be defensive instead of offensive, and it's kind of made the difference. Now with the Sonya and Avala, they're thinking they can end, and this core is absolutely melting. 70%, now down to 60. Ladies and gentlemen, game 2 looking like it is going to go to ReGen Phoenix. And it does in another very entertaining game between these 2 veteran squads. Mid-game, that looked like it was Jailbait's to lose. But Phoenix, with the kind of aggressive, unexpected rotation, caught ReGen Phoenix and used that momentum to just flip that game on its head. And now we will go to a game 3. So we're going to put the BRB screen up, and we'll be back here in just 1 second. All right, we are back for game 3. Division B East, ReGen Phoenix, Jailbait. Oh, tilts me that that's not centered. Almost have all teams in the lobby, and ReGen Phoenix is first pick. So that means map pick chosen by Jailbait, and they took us to Volskaya Foundry. Waiting for one more from Jailbait. Looks like... Oh, who is that that's missing? One player missing. Fragsteller was missing, now is here. So should be starting any moment now. While we're waiting, let's see if there is another game being casted after this one, so we can throw you guys over to whoever that is. I don't think there is not. A lot of games on the docket tonight. Unfortunately, only a few of them being casted. Maybe... Oh, Munkus. So Munkus will probably still be going. If he is, we'll throw you over to that for a Division A game after. Valk, did you actually get banned from his chat? Well, I don't know about that, Valk. All right, everybody's here. Hopefully, we get some R's going out. And we start this game. All right. So back to the Ariel Deathwing meta. That those two seem to be consistently high banned. We actually did see Ariel go through in game 1, but both those guys banned in game 2. Not going through then. Phoenix has been pretty consistently staying on banning the tanks in the early going there. We'll see if they stick with that here in game 3. All right, everybody has said they're ready. Arrow says we're starting. I believe him. Here we go. All right, so first pick, first ban, ReGen Phoenix. And they, after game 1, don't want to see that Mal'Ganis again. Staying with the tank bans that they've shown. I think other than Deathwing Ariel, they've banned a tank every other ban, or Leo, I guess. And Jailbait staying with the Alarak ban. That's third time in a row. Will not see that hero being played. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that is a Mudge hero, the Alarak. Let's see if we can double check. It is. Mudge has played Alarak 3 times this season. Deathwing banned out once more. So with that in mind, Jailbait having no interest in playing against Alarak and continues to ban him. Let's see if the Ariel ban comes out one more time, and it does. So first pick for ReGen Phoenix. Last time it was Vala, but that was Battlefield of Eternity. I don't think we're going to see that again. Something that really thrives on battling for the point. And instead they're going to go ETC. I think that's... I think that pick is 2 reasons. One, ETC is solid, but also it's a soft ban. You pick it yourself and you keep it away from Cawthon. They banned ETC in the first game and the second game, and now picked him. Oh, well, thanks. Thanks for the sub, Arrow. That's awesome and really nice of you. Cawthon now getting back on Johanna, who surprisingly we haven't seen to this point. I don't think Joe has been banned or picked so far. Also picking up the Sylvanas with the Merc Queen on the turret. It's going to be very powerful here on Volskaya. Phoenix responding with an Aria Especial. Admiral Stukov and Rabid playing the Jaina. That trio in particular, ETC, Jaina, Stukov, is a really nice pairing. They all complement each other very well. Let's see who the last ban for Jailbait will be. Sonya. Don't want to see Mudge's Sonya again. I don't blame them. Played very well last game. And Sonya, who just jumps all over your backline, you can't seem to peel him off, is really aggravating. So who's it going to be for ReGen Phoenix? A support ban, off-lane ban, support ban. Anduin. Johanna Anduin is a nice pairing. The light bomb onto Johanna is really good. You can... it's very hard to stop, too. If you Blessed Shield, you know, Iron Skin, Condemn, and then the light bomb goes over there in the midst of all of that. It's a long AoE stun that you can set up pretty well. Kobo will be playing the Thrall, H2O, picking up Deckard Pain with his most awesome Deckard skin. Last two picks here for ReGen Phoenix. Maybe a Raynor. I really like Jaina and Raynor in particular. Ace in the hole goes really well for the bonus damage on slowed targets with Jaina. So that wouldn't surprise me. Imperious for the offlane, and Zul'jin. So that's 2 games we've seen Zul'jin out of 3 now. First game was actually Jailbait's hero, but now being played by Phoenix. And it's going to be Mephisto to round out the comp for Jailbait. That is not a hero that I would have predicted. So kind of a very all-up-in-your-face approach here from Jailbait. Sylvanas, the only real ranged damage dealer. They're going to want to roll up on you. And I think it's going to be difficult to get to that Sylvanas as well. We'll see how this rolls. A little bit more of a standard comp coming out for ReGen Phoenix. The Mephisto, a little bit of a curveball coming out from Jailbait. All right. Game number 3, ReGen Phoenix, the blue team Arrow on ETC Mudge on Imperious, Rabid Penguin on Jaina, Arya on Stukov, and also on a Crab. Darabao on a Dancing Zul'jin for the side of Jailbait. Mech is on Sylvanas, Kobo on Thrall, Cawthon is on Johanna. Frag Stellar will be playing Mephisto. And who did I forget? Mech on Sylph. All right, Thrall and Imperious are already... Nope, I lied. Thrall's kind of hanging. Teams don't really seem to be interested in the traditional 5v5 mid-brawl. Just kind of hovering around, not really doing much. So that little exchange was definitely won by Jailbait. A little bit of an out trade there. Thrall now heading to the bottom to play with Imperious, while the 4-mans resume their duel. Cawthon caught out a little bit, but it's actually Darabao who is almost going to die, but not quite. Arrow is pretty low as well. Cawthon was kind of low too. And Deckard Payne, man, he's saying, I have no fear. I'm going to rotate right through here and try to intimidate you. Let's check in on our solo laners. Mudge having a better time of it. Kobo struggling into the Imperious. I imagine here sometime fairly soon we're going to see these teams rotate onto their turrets. Mudge coming in on the flank. With control over bottom lane, he is given some freedom to move around. Now Kobo coming up to join him. All 5 members of both squads here, and now breaking up to resume their laning assignments. And as expected, both teams are on turrets. Rabid might be caught out a little bit, does not get rooted by Deckard. That may have made the difference. However, a big power slide by Arrow combined with the Blizzard. H2O is in trouble, and there's first blood, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit of a counter engage coming by Arrow there. Nice job by Rabid to save his cooldowns for the engagement as well. They will use this time to secure the healing camp. I don't imagine Jailbait is going to step in here, and I imagined wrong. They are stepping in hard, and Phoenix even used their turret, but Cawthon is so low they don't want to give this up. Honestly, I think Jailbait did as well as you could imagine on a 4v3. If that was a 4v4, I think they have a better time of that. But Johanna unfortunately going down. Phoenix now about 3/4 of a level in the lead.
Terminal online. Take control of it to pilot the mech.
I agree, Rodney. ETC's face melt without loudspeakers is a very small distance, and I play a ton of ETC, and I take loudspeakers probably 99% of the time. Very, very, very occasionally, for specific reasons, I'll take speed metal, but that's about it. Alright, so Thrall not here. Both sides here otherwise. And Jailbait stepping in once again without the Thrall. And Darabo, though, is so low. Now Thrall is joining his team. Jailbait fighting down a talent here, down a hero, and they did honestly pretty well. They do have Sylv here with Merc Queen. I imagine no Merc Queen. They did use the turret though, but Sylv goes down. The turret goes down. Sylv did not take Merc Queen, which is so common here on Volskaya, and those kills almost certainly going to give the first Rock'em Sock'em robot over to ReGen Phoenix. Yeah, I noticed the same thing too, Rodney. Definitely a lot of ETC players a little too gung-ho on hitting their W immediately after their Q. But Arrow held it. Make sure he holds those guys into the Blizzard. So Robot going over to Phoenix. They will keep all 5 men, players, ladies, heroes. Nope. I was going to say in the top lanes, but Jaina actually does rotate bottom to make sure they don't lose any soak. Thrall doing the same for Jailbait. And ReGen Phoenix pushing in hard in this top lane. You always want to try to target the well if you can, but this robot's going down pretty fast. As is the well, though. They do get the well on the wall, so that's about what you want. And now Phoenix will disengage. Arrow coming in on the flank, and then Mephisto gets pushed all the way out, but Rabbit is just waiting here in the bush to collect anybody, and he's gonna... Oh, he was looking at that Mephisto, but unfortunately Mephisto's little circle of lightning would have revealed Jaina, so she kind of backed up, and that took her out of range. Level 10's almost here for ReGen Phoenix. Jailbait is about a level behind. And now Heroics on board. We have Taz Dingo, Flailing Swipe, Mosh Pit. I assume that is Angelic Armaments, and it is. Jaina not showing quite yet, and she will go with the Water Elemental. ReGen Phoenix, you need to invade this camp with your 10s, and they are. Well done by them. No contest from Jailbait, obviously. And they're really setting themselves up. One of my issues I have with Volskaya is it can be snowbally. The team that is ahead keeps getting the toys, and then the team that gets the toys keeps getting further ahead. And right now, ReGen Phoenix has all the toys. They have the Biotic Emitter. They have 2 turrets. However, level 10s are here for Jailbait. Wailing Arrow, Blessed Shield, Sundering, Stay a While and Listen, and I don't know Mephisto's one. Consume Souls from Mephisto. Nice flashlight from Coffin, anchoring his team on the flank, allowing them to back up from their mid lane pressure. Now Jailbait thinking about invading, but Sylv is not here. They decided better of it. So what we didn't catch, or well, let me rephrase, what I didn't mention is right as ReGen Phoenix was securing the first robot, as Arya is a little caught out here, maybe? Nope, I lied. It's Kobo that's caught out. Stay a while and wish and catches 4, though. Arya does interrupt it. Imperius is really low, and the Mephisto Heroic will kill 1. Sylvanas will come down and kill a second one. But look at those turrets just shredding, almost killing the Sylv. But this will be huge if Jailbait can get away with the team fight win here, and they will! They pick up the Zul'jin as well, trading Zul'jin for Mephisto. And even more important than the team fight win is ReGen Phoenix used up so many of their items. They had 3 turrets and the Biotic Emitter. That advantage now gone. Levels are basically even. And Jailbait is going to have the opportunity to rotate up first and get some position advantage. ReGen Phoenix does still have their sippy cup, so that is that definitely plays into their hands. Imperius is still mid. Both teams now on their way. Level 13s are online. We'll look at those for a minute before we put that down. And here we go. Darabelle very low again, and Mech just rips him apart. Now turning back, putting the damage back on the Sylv. Meanwhile, on the point, Joe and Thrall dancing with ETC and Johanna. No effect to either side. Turret still not used by Deckard Cain. Iron Skin is used. Now Thrall is caught out, though. He's going to have to use Sundering, maybe? Although a big silence, though, completely splits out Coffin. They need to get him out, and they will not. So the conveyor belts and the terrain kind of splitting up Jailbait there. ReGen Phoenix taking advantage. And now catching Sylv as well. Sunder was a hair late, not quite able to save her. Jailbait will be forced to retreat and likely surrender the second Triglav protector of the game. I mean, maybe not. Sylv will be up in 2 seconds. It's only at 50% for ReGen Phoenix. So if they hustle up here, they might be able to contest. It'll be tight, though. Thrall has to come from mid lane. He's working his way up. Now it's 70%. Coffin standing just close enough. Blizzard does go out onto the Mercs to clear them out. Doesn't quite finish it. All the teams are here. Coffin finally steps onto the point, contesting it. And here we go. 5 on 5. They have caught out Jaina and taken her out. Nice target focus by Jailbait. There's a 2-man impale. Mosh Pit only catches 1. It is Johanna, not the target you want. And it actually lasts almost the full duration, but The members of Phoenix weren't there to follow up with the damage. That kill on Jaina and Mosh Pit now being on cooldown. Jailbait gonna secure the Rock'em Sock'em robot. They have Mercs, they have Sylv. Let's see what they can do with this bad boy. Although Sylv is actually in the robot. There we go. They swapped it out. Nice job, Jailbait. I was wondering about that. Definitely Sylv is not the hero you want in there. Doing a little drive-by damage to this fort. I don't think they'll... Oh, I was gonna say, I don't think they'll stay too long. There we go. I thought they might have just stepped in and finished it, but then they decided not to. And down to bottom lane, which is the correct call. That is where the next objective is. And they will start prepping this lane, ideally targeting the well. Triglav Protector at about half health. Imperius showing in the top. I want to see Jailbait step up aggressive now with Imperius showing in the top lane. That means they are a man down. You have a Sylv. You have the robot. Get some work done. ETC trying to zone away from the well, but it won't matter. Well going down, and with Imperius in the top lane, Fort going down as well. There's the stay a while. It catches Jaina. Do they have the damage to follow up on it? No, but they might get Zul'jin. Taz Dingo popped. Mech using some fancy footwork with the Haunting Wave to not get wrecked by Taz Dingo, and they are able to secure the kill on to Zul'jin, and they will parlay that into another turret. 16's up for both teams. There's the talents. They're going to run mid now and catch Imperius, who impales over the wall. The rooting from Decker Kane, big, using the fort they just ripped to tank the fort. While they don't get the Imperius, they do get the fort and the well. Somebody finish the well? Winions? And the well. Now turning their attention to the biotic emitter. So game 1, game 2, very back and forth, very brawly, very heavily contested. Game 3, absolutely no difference. I'll tell you, these sets haven't looked like a number 1 seed versus a number 9 seed or whatever. Phoenix not caring about the fort. Instead, they're going to prioritize prepping bottom lane and the turret. Jailbait realizing that, they rotate down here. Joe not stepping in without her teammates, and great. I love that play by ReGen Phoenix. So heads up. Jailbait showed in the top lane. They didn't care. They ripped the bottom wall, ripped the bottom fountain, stole the turret, and really set themselves up for success on the next tribute. I mean, at that point, if you're not going to get down there in time, if you're Jailbait, do you just finish off that top fort? Because they should have, or could have. I don't know. They do catch out the Johanna, not really who you're looking to catch out. Counter engage. So big from Jailbait. Stay a while, catches one. Johanna and ETC, the tank's the first to go, but Jaina goes shortly after that. Imperius is in trouble. There's the heroic from Malthael, catching 3, 4. Oh, Arya, I don't think... Oh, fancy footwork. Now trying to hearth in the bush. I think that's the right call. The turret is there, but Thrall does catch the Arya. The Stukov, lurking arm just to try to get yourself out. And now going to go to a different bush and hearth? Yes. Meanwhile, I love that Jailbait did not waste any time on Stukov. They're going to see if they can rip a keep off of this. They're also going to finish top fort, so big structural lead here being taken by Jailbait, especially if they can actually finish this keep. It's going to be close. All members of Phoenix will be up in about 8 seconds, but I think that will be enough time. They will finish the keep. They finish top fort. They have Mercs pushing in the top lane. Oh, it's so close. There's Mephisto. But now they're going to jump onto where he respawns, forcing his team to come back and protect him. Welly is actually still on him. Also on the verge of level 20s is Jailbait. They have possibly caught Fragstellar. He's still slowed, and now they have finally caught him. He will come back, and he is not getting out. There he goes. So they trade Mephisto for a keep. honestly, probably an okay trade. That'll allow them to get this turret if they want and they're fast about it. They can get level 20, and when Mephisto is up here in a little bit, maybe they have time to contest. It's a pretty long death timer. I honestly don't know if they will. But top's still pushing. That's going to need to be dealt with. ReGen Phoenix was a little slow on the invade. They're probably not going to catch Johanna. They do catch her in a mosh. Sunder splits out Jaina. Now Jaina is in trouble, and a 5v4 counter kill catches Jaina. Nice Thrall Sunder to interrupt the mosh pit, and good follow-up by Mech on that Sylve to finish Jaina. Now stepping in, big condemn, big punish, ETC forced to back up, double impale from Mudge. And the silence actually ends up picking up Thrall, so it's a 1-4-1. However, with Mephisto up, it's now a 4v4. Jailbait, they got a Kata and camps pushing in on this keep. And they also don't have 20s. So if they don't respond, that will eventually go down. Jailbait is on the point. Phoenix is backing up. Three Katas now gathered up in mid. I think they'll make it up here in time to save this if they actually come up here. And they haven't yet. Now they are. So that was a big play, getting the man down team fight kill. And now both sides will be 5-on-5. Cawthon, realizing he's all by himself, makes sure he gets out. They being Jailbait, grab the biotic emitter. And now we will have a 5v5 with 20. A catapult has spawned top lane. If this locks onto this keep, though, and it does, I think this keep's going to go down. Meanwhile, we'll watch that in the minimap there. Always worth noting ETC's level 10s, and he took Death Metal, so really watch for that. Two Katas on core now. ReGen Phoenix can't wait long. There's the big flank, the root onto ETC. Stay a while and listen, interrupted, but I don't think it's going to matter. Taz Dingo is super low, manages to pop Unkillable. The mosh pit was insta-interrupted, and Stukov was insta-killed. ETC here has no death mosh, and ReGen Phoenix is so low. Imperius goes down. There's the death metal catching two, but it is not going to matter. 4 kills for Jailbait. Maybe Jaina makes it up here in time for this, and I think they're just going to try to end. I think that's the right call to level 20. 5v1, you have to end. You just go end the game. And Jailbait on the verge of the upset 2-1 victory over ReGen Phoenix. And that's going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. What an absolutely fun, entertaining set to watch. ReGen Phoenix picking up the upset win and putting them right back into playoff seeding 2-1 here over ReGen Phoenix. And if my memory serves, that's going to put ReGen Phoenix tied for first place. So Division B East, very close, very tight. Normally, I would love to do a interview and chat with those guys at Jailbait, especially after such a big win. However, I have my own NGS game here in about 15 minutes, so I have to bounce out. Thanks, guys, for coming in and watching my terrible overlaid, rusty cast. And congratulations to Jailbait on their victory and their 2 points. And I think my team captain Shadonis will be POV streaming our game here in about 15 minutes. So if you're so inclined, check that out. Otherwise, everybody have a wonderful night.